3 years?
3 years. It was ridiculous.
Did you build it in here?
No, I built it at school.
Oh, at school?
Yeah.
You need, like
I
wood
guess it
shop?
didn't take 3 years. It took 3 semesters. But over 3 years it took me. Yeah, let me see.
Did you need, like, wood carving tools and stuff? Like,
yeah, totally. I used chisels.
like a table saw?
and
Oh.
I used little hand saws because I cut the wood in a way that it fit together like a jigsaw puzzle. It's called wood joinery.
Oh, that's cool.
But this is the table upside down.
Oh, wow.
It's
That's
made
like
out of dark walnut.
Did you have to, like, how'd you get it so thin and, like, to turn like that?
Just cutting a piece in the corner to bend. Like, I didn't actually bend the wood, I just cut it in a bend shape.
Yeah, like, that's totally, like, carved out. That's
Let's
really
see.
cool.
This is me doing the edge and kind of rounding it off with the router. And I put cups inside.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I remember this now.
Because, like, at work, I work as a sign artist at Trader Joe's, so I'm, like, really weird, and I like to, like, save things or find the beauty in, like, something that would normally be trash.
Yeah.
You know? So I save all the leftover paint, so I mix...
That's so beautiful, though.
Thank you.
I mean, really, it reminds me of, like, a Chuck Close painting or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could get a big enough, like, frame to put the cups in...
Imagine doing that, like, huge, like, on like a billboard or something.
That would
with,
be
like,
pretty
tons of, like,
awesome.
paper cups full of paint.
I would totally have to cheat and just, like, make the colors in the cups. I'm very, like, weird about it being leftover. Like, I'm not gonna, like, create leftovers.
That's the whole, like, turning
leftovers.
materials back on themselves and recycling them and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because your work's, like, really big scale. Like, you're like, here's a big idea, everybody. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Run with it.
Like, can you handle this?
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, I mean, it's like all these giant piles of materials, like, just being pushed around on the planet, and, like, you know, it's a big idea. People don't really think, like,
the whole idea was for me to, like, just be more aware of, like, the waste that I created.
Yeah.
And so if you, like, save your waste and live with it, you kind of understand actually how much it could, like you kind of, like, look at it and you could say, how can I use this?
Yeah, it becomes a tool.
It sounds like I'm a hoarder, but I'm, like, an organized hoarder. It's like...
I love that, though.
You know?
I mean, you know, we gotta do something with it.
Yeah, totally.
I mean,
I got
if we're gonna live with it, you know?
Like, you can see there's just, like, bags of cups.
And those have, like, paint in them, too?
Yeah, these are all my leftover paints. And this is just, like, paint peels.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that looks so cool. Like, that's such a... Oh, man.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to show you.
That's super cool.
So I would collage onto plexiglass.
With, like, the paint. Like, that's so sick.
Yeah.
It looks awesome in person.
I would save stuff. Anything that got paint on it, I would try and use, like, paint towels. My pants pocket that had a bunch of paint on it.
Oh, there it is.
There's my shoe with a bunch of paint on it, flattened out.
Oh, how funny. Oh, yeah, I see it.
And the shoe tongue is right here.
That's so funny.
So, yeah, this was a project on how to, like... It was a project in school about contrast. So, how many different ways can you contrast something with, like, dark and light or neutral and...
Matte and glossy.
Yeah, matte, glossy, textured, smooth, like, front, back.
Oh, man. What's cool is you could build this painting out, like, really crazy far.
Oh, totally.
And it would just get, like, you could build, like, furniture out of this painting.
Yeah. I had to put I did a huge series of recycled paint stuff, but I had to put it on hold because I ran out of stuff to use.
It's interesting because that's how the earth just rebuilds itself. It's just layers and layers and layers and layers of things.
Totally.
And you're taking them and just...
There's this one recycled, like, project that I use, or that I've been working on ever since I started the project, and it still is in progress because it's basically a box. And I would take the leftover paint and dump it into the box and, like, create layers of old paint. And so it's, like, building up to about 2 inches.
That's awesome.
And then I'm going to take it and carve into it and,
oh my gosh.
like,
that's
show all the
so
layers.
all of the big paint companies who where people say, bring us your recycled paint. Like, you could just get all that paint and be like, can you just, like, layer this for me? Just, I need to get this going.
That would be cool.
You know? So, show us some of your, like, you went on a painting frenzy this week, which is awesome.
Did, yes.
So cool.
Yeah, totally.
So that was where you started, like, I'm gonna layer stuff, and I'm gonna, like, reuse materials.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna.
That was a couple years ago.
You came up with really innovative ways to, like, kind of build what you wanted. You know, you're like, you're using materials and you're innovating the way paintings are made.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't really paint this way, and it's pretty cool. You know what I mean?
Kind of how I looked at it is like,
fun.
As a sign artist, all the paint that I use, like, is used to send a message. Like, say, this is what the product is. I'm creating a sign to tell you the price, what the product is, what it's about, blah, blah, blah. And so it's like, I kind of looked at all this leftover paint as like, oh, you didn't quite get to fulfill your purpose of sending a message. You're just going to go in the trash. Kind of ordeal. So it's just like, now I get to like take you and repurpose you and let you send a message, like the message of repurposing and recycling and you know, whatever. Yeah, everything does go on. It never dies, really. Yeah. It's just gonna go on and become something else. Which is, you know, what I see, like, this is completely different, and it's like really really it's almost like biological drawings, like it's almost like those like, you know, for these scientific, like kind of like sci-fi fantasy totally. I mean, the colors and just like the cool landscapes and I don't know what it is about the landscape, but it's just like when I go into a painting, I don't necessarily have an intention of creating a specific thing. I just start with a mark, and then I make another mark, and that mark turns into another mark. It's like you're like just playing, you know, with colors. Just playing, and then somehow a landscape just ends up appearing. It's just like it's kind of just what happens when you're just playing with light, like, because I start with a black background and I start with the really dark colors and just like slowly add more lighter colors, and it just turns into this thing. It's a lot of it is just like my hand dancing around to the music that I'm listening to. So what are you listening to? When you like, and like what kind of brush are you using? Like a little brush? I start with big brushes, and I just like lay it down and just slap it on, and then I just use those marks with the big brushes, and I go to a smaller brush. And I kind of, in a way, like, when I use the big brush, I pay attention to the deeper, bassy sounds of the music, and I allow my hand to go with those sounds. And then I get to, like a medium brush, and I pay attention to, like, the medium tones of the music. And then I get small and detailed, and then I'm just, like, listening to the high pitch. So what were you listening to? I listen to it. Oh, totally. I can play some. Lately I've been listening to Little People. Any instrumental, not a lot of words. Kind of just like meditative, like trancey, just It does like create like an atmosphere. Oh, totally. I've been thinking about, you know, what are the new modern ways of painting? You know, what are like, how are people like pushing that medium forward, or what's it going to become? Because it's going to morph, you know, like materials are always morphing and changing, and like people are using them for something else, or something discover something cool about it, and they're like, oh, we could do this, and there's, I don't know, stuff's just always so much going on. Right? So it's like, you know, what's going to happen with paint, like the material itself, because it's like, paint's a really toxic material, and I know in your like earlier work you were talking about pollution and stuff. You know, oil spills and oils are like really dramatic for you, especially working in an enclosure like this, and I constantly get it on my hands, and that's not very good. And but I've stopped using oils. Like, I've just gone with acrylics. Acrylics. Yeah, I discovered. Just water based. I discovered Nova Color. They're like the best paints ever. They're really cheap too. You could get this whole thing of yellow for $11.25, or you could get like a tube of Liquitex for.
And it's water based, and it's like, where
and
do they make
they
this
have
stuff?
it's only one location in
LA.
LA.
Culver City. Oh, it's like down the street. No health hazard. Awesome.
Yeah, and they have like so many different kinds of mediums.
That's cool because I mean,
that's the white.
art materials are really toxic.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you
wouldn't want to eat this, but if you get it on your skin, it'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be good.
Yeah.
And the air won't.
Yeah, I mean,
the
you're
vapors.
using water.
Yeah.
No
the
solvents.
vapors.
Yeah.
So cool. And the brushes, I mean, you've got your glass palette. That I always love the glass palettes.
It's the best.
I've saved a couple. Like I have some that I have the painting and I have the palette. I saved them and I'm like, these two.
That's how that whole recycled paint thing happened. Was like I had this palette and it just built up all this paint.
Oh man.
Like, this is an art piece.
Do you still have it?
I'm thinking I might, but.
That's cool.
Here was the palette that gave me that idea of carving into.
Oh, cool. So you're inspired by palettes. Well, they're an inspiration, you know?
Well, yeah, this palette was from work, and it just got too gunked up with paint. And I just
my god, that is freaking awesome.
I started chipping away at it. I really like this one.
That is really freaking cool.
And I was like, whoa, look at all, and just exposing all the layers and the history of the paint. And
whoa.
It's like archaeology.
So you carved out all these little shapes, though.
Yeah, I just totally
cool.
took a X-Acto knife and started cutting away at it.
Oh my god. I love that. I'm like, that's cool.
I can't wait to. My box is almost full, so it's getting really close.
Oh my gosh.
So, but
that's super cool. I love it.
I used to have my old palette hanging up there, but I think it's gone.
Oh. Somewhere.
Maybe it's up here.
I'm gonna ask the cricket where.
Oh wait, this might be it.
Oh neat. You just pulled it out.
So it's like I saw the paint
so cool.
on this side, which it looks cool and all, but I thought that back side looked really cool.
Yeah, that looks like a fairy garden of magical amazingness.
Yeah, totally.
It's so cool.
So yeah.
That looks like they're both really freaking awesome, you know?
Yeah.
I really love abstract art, and I love art that just kind of makes itself, and, you know, it's like when you let the materials just kind of spend time and see what happens.
It's
and
very process oriented.
It's super, I mean, you've set a couple things in motion, you know, like you're like, that's gonna be something. Yeah. That's gonna be something else. Like you're like sending these materials off into like our own little next chapter.
Yeah, totally.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you did these, and then
this is an oil one, and this is an oil one. These are older.
Oh, these two are oil paintings.
Yeah. See, I don't.
Oh, see, I got confused because I was like, wow, those are acrylics. You know?
This is acrylic.
These
is acrylic.
Yep.
It's just oil. It takes too long for the layer to dry.
Yeah, it really does.
So I have to wait the next day before I could put another layer on.
What did Van Gogh use? How did he get that really like thick oil look? It was just
he used oil
or something.
No, I think maybe some of it. I think most of it was brush though. He just globbed it on though.
He's like, wow.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, Van Gogh is kind of someone I've looked up to and who's inspired me. You know, like he's just like his freedom of movement, like the flow of his
he was dancing.
Starks. Oh, totally. He was dancing for sure. Now you should see me here with the music, just like painting away. I'm just like grooving.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. It's totally a little like it's like you're a little like journey of color.
Totally. Yeah.
Cool.
I love to like take a color like that I'm just starting with, because a lot of the time I'll just like make a blue and a purple, and then I'll like add some color to that, and then it'll become a slightly different color.
Mm-hmm.
So I could like make these subtle like color light and the just the progression of color.
Yeah, you see, it's freaking glowing, like, in certain parts.
Totally, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so you can see kind of the, like, quality of the paint when it's comes from, like, oil and...
I mean, but you're layering again now. Now you're getting the layers.
Oh, totally. Yeah, I could layer much easier because I could work on the sky and then I move on to this, and then by the time I've finished part of this, I can move back to the sky because it's dried. It takes like 15, 20 minutes.
5 layers in or something. Or
oh yeah.
3.
Yeah, there's
like 2 or something.
Honestly, there's probably a lot more than that.
Oh wow, really? Oh, cool.
There's like 3 layers in the fire. There's about maybe 2 or 3 layers, or there's like 3 or 4 layers here.
Oh,
but
okay.
here there's probably like
14,
8 or 9 or something like that. Yeah, you could just kind of count the colors, and that's kind of like how you could tell how many layers there are.
Like
there's like rings. The really back blue part, and then there's like purple, lighter purple.
That's what gives it its progression.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been kind of just trying to pick 2 colors and kind of let them play off of each other.
Just push them as far as they can go.
Yeah, like this is the most recent one.
That's cool.
But I wanted to kind of like show like contrasting, competing colors, and like
you're getting a crazy glowing effect.
Yeah, it's the black background. It's totally. I don't use white. Like all my light colors are pure color.
When you pull white out of the equation.
Yeah, if you put white in this, it's just like too much.
It makes it softer.
Totally. Like you can see there's a bit of white in this one. And it kind of takes away from it. If you just keep that like a dark orange or a dark red, or I'm sorry, like a dark, like a light yellow, as opposed to like a white yellow.
Yeah, you went.
And then it really pops.
You didn't finish the spectrum progression.
Yeah.
You like zipped ahead.
But yeah.
I mean, and then you have like the trash. That's like. That's an art piece too, right?
Just start picking all that out of there.
I know, right?
Like I'll scrape the palette, just like glob it on the edge.
It's funny, like when you think of like.
I mean, this could be like an art piece, it's just.
You do.
I totally saved all of these.
I remember someone saying like. They had a sweater and it was like layered and layered with paint, and they were like, "Oh my god, I just love to have something like that." Like, it's like fashionable,
That's funny.
Because it's like took so long for it. It is like art.
No,
well, it is.
That's hilarious that you say that because I go to work in these pants because I make signs and I just get paint everywhere, and they don't really care, so I wear them, and I'll be on register and. Customers will be like, "Oh, I like your pants. Where did you get them? Did you make them that way, or did you buy them like that?" I was like, "No, lady. These are just my work pants."
You could do fashion as well now.
Yeah.
You're like, these are all handmade by myself.
I've seen people come through the store with paint on their pants, and they totally just bought them that way.
No way.
Like, you fools, just. Buy my old pants.
Buy my old pants or paint. And, well, I want more people to paint. I think it would be awesome.
Totally.
I think people are scared of art, and I'm trying to show people that like it's just.
Everyone I meet like I can never paint.
You just need your space to do it. I think,
yeah. And the will, I guess.
Oh, I mean, it's so fun.
Yeah.
Like when you're making it, it's like you're like dancing with colors. That doesn't sound fun to you? It's fucking fun. Everyone should try it.
It's very therapeutic.
It's totally therapeutic. And
Absolutely.
I mean, to feel creative and to feel like making, I mean, this whole like, I can't, well, look, these are tools that you can get and you can try and you can have fun and make art too. It's not impossible.
Yeah, a lot of people go their whole life and they don't ever create anything.
No,
they just kind of like fall into the system and work a 9-to-5 job and just work for other people. But really, we have this ability to create and to like
at
be
any
on
moment.
This planet and not use that ability is like kind of crazy.
I know, you're
it's
like,
so
just
satisfying.
have an original thought.
Yeah, right? Please, somebody have an original thought.
And this is how you can have an original thought. You need, like, this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, you just need to be able to look at the world a different way.
I always say, like, you need your tools. Like, you need your stuff that you can build with. And, like, if you're making anything, you're like, I need certain things, or this won't happen.
Yeah.
So tools are, like, essential. So, I don't know, maybe they're not. I wanted to ask you.
Sometimes a tool could just be a pen and a paper, and
yeah, I wanted to ask you.
I mean, there's a lot of people that get creative in other ways. But what do you want to ask?
Like landscape, like Andy Goldsworthy, artists that use materials like just soil, rocks, ice, just materials that kind of like immediately go back to their state of what they were before, and it was just like for this moment, and then it would like disappeared.
Yeah.
So if, like, materials are always having this like back and forth, ebb and flow, whatever. Like, I mean, what do you think about like using stuff
like
that
from
has temporary properties?
Temporary properties. See, I'm like, I mean, totally. That definitely sounds like a great idea. But for me, I just like to. I'm very. I like a product that will last. I'm very archival in that sense, I guess.
Yeah, you're like kind of like giving it a longer life. You're like
totally
morph now, like.
Yeah, it's like something that I want someone to experience later, not for just that moment or hear about it later on.
Yeah.
I want it to be around for a while.
Yeah, it's a good message to send out there.
Yeah, but I get that idea totally, and I like the idea of using parts of real landscapes on Earth into your painting, like dirt and sand and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
as
interesting.
Like a medium or something. That would be cool.
Yeah.
I have, in fact, mixed sand into my paint.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, but it's not here. It's in where is it? Oh, Lancaster. That's some cafe.
Lancaster.
Yeah, Lancaster. That's where that one is. Yeah.
Where did he go? That's hilarious.
It reminds me. I gotta figure out how to get that back.
You're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna call you. So
it's just there temporarily.
What do you store up here?
All my paintings.
Oh, this is like canvas and.
Yeah, I mean all my old paintings from
let's check it out.
Like school projects and stuff.
Oh yeah, you got them all stacked up.
There, actually, I could show you some of my older, more figurative work.
It's true. Like you need space, like to do this.
Oh, absolutely. And this isn't enough space, to be honest.
I know.
I mean, it's nice and all, but shit, it's kind of crowded. So you gotta move stuff to.
Yeah, you have to really kind of shift around and like stack stuff up and
Oh, but there's these too. I'm gonna bring to your gallery. That's cool. I think you've seen this one. This one is from Joshua Tree. You can pull that all the way.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And this is my oldest Joshua Tree one. The first time we went to Joshua Tree with all the art friends, me and my friend, went up hiking and we found this little cave thing, and he took a really cool black and white photo of me.
Oh, I see.
Staring out into the.
Oh, I see you with a flashlight or something.
No, actually, that's the sun shining in.
Oh,
the
no
cave.
way. Oh,
Yeah.
cool. That's awesome.
That's kind of. I never thought about that. It's kind of like I'm looking this way with a flashlight.
Yeah, it looks like it could be a night shot or just like because you're talking about going like doing the.
The chasm.
The chasm, yeah. And it could be.
Yeah, you don't really necessarily need flashlights for the chasm.
It could be the moon.
Or the moon. Yeah.
That's what it looked like that weekend.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, these are my life drawings.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is dope. You're like, what's up, everybody?
I also got.
Hold on. Oh my gosh. you should.
Here's some other little
Oh, sick. Wow.
little self-portrait studies.
Nice. You're like, what's up? You look very like
This
tough
is-
in these pictures.
Yeah, well, you can't really hold a smile in a mirror and paint it.
That's true. Yeah.
So yeah, this was me
This
staring
this
into
is
a mirror
cool.
for hours upon hours. And then
Hours.
my damn teacher thought it was too good. And he thought I cheated and used a reference photo. Because you're supposed to do it from life, looking into a mirror. He's like, there's no way
This looks like
you could have
Edward
done
Hopper.
that. Edward Hopper.
This looks like an Edward Hopper painting.
Yeah? I'm not
Seriously.
familiar. I'll look him up.
Oh shit, it's all about light.
Yeah.
And like, it's just like landscapes and like really early in the morning. Like, you know, that light.
Yeah,
And it looks like you've been like sitting out.
Yeah, this is me in this garage.
There's the ladder.
That's the ladder.
Oh my god.
And I used to have that chair, but a cat scratched it up.
What happened to that chair? I'm just kidding.
It's just like shredded now.
That's a sick painting.
Thanks.
You know, I don't. That's a sick painting.
Yeah, that was my final for my life painting class. Yeah. Go to your bed.
Life painting. You're like hours and hours of staring at myself.
Oh yeah, so done. We had to do 2 a week. And then that one was like, we got the last 3 weeks to work on. So yeah, go.
Still 3 weeks. That's like a very short amount of time to produce like a
Yeah.
study, because it's really intense, you know.
It really is.
But I don't want to like make that face ever
Yeah.
again.
No,
You're
definitely
like
not.
hours.
I'd
10
like
hours.
to paint from photos more. It's much easier. Because
Yeah.
you have to like tape off your shoe and where you place your feet and where I had my elbow, and it was like, and then I had tape on my pants so I knew where to put my hand on my knee.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean.
You gotta tape yourself off, and like you have like
you
tape
yourself.
around your butt, and like so you know where to sit on the chair.
Synchronize your watches. Like it's gonna be that same time of day. Like yeah, you went hardcore.
And then you
for that
gotta
one.
deal with like clothing ripples because those are never the same.
There. You're like, come on, like it's a gesture, you know.
Yeah.
It's like it's a
Totally.
style. I mean, it's a study.
Yeah.
You know, these are study. I think abstract art is a study too, and it's it's a different kind of study. It's colors and layers and depth and big and small, and it's a lot. It's heady art. You know?
Yeah, not a lot of people know how to like what to think about it. That's the thing about abstract or some abstract art.
They don't really teach it in school though, and because it can't really be taught. It's like a dance, and it's like playing with the material, and
It's very interpretive, and you say so much about it and so little about it at the same time.
Yeah, it's just meant to inspire or whatever. Like it's just going out there, and it's a thought.
Yeah, not everyone's into it. And that's fine with me. But I wouldn't consider my stuff abstract though.
No, I wouldn't either. Actually, it kind of goes through this back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you can't really put it in a tract.
Yeah,
I'm
caught in between,
because,
all right.
Yeah, you can't put it in a tract because like that one where where it went like from day to night.
Yeah.
It's like it's a silhouette of you, but then it also looks very like intergalactic. And like the space just like is crazy. Because of the contrasting and like the following of the spectrum, and like those things are.
Yeah, I love to play with the distance, and the crazy thing is it's just a flat surface, and you're just like putting color next to color, and it creates this illusion that there's actually something really far in this image. And I like the idea of just like kind of building it up, and then, and it's kind of like a fractal in a sense, like there's a giant rock or a giant brush stroke right here, but within that brush strokes are medium brush strokes. but within those medium brush strokes, there's little brush strokes.
Yeah.
And so it's like
and
this.
And then you just lose all sense of what happened.
And then, your mind kind of just follows these trails of color and light.
Yeah, it's just like a hike.
Yeah. A Joshua Tree midnight hike.
It's just like a midnight hike in Joshua Tree, okay?
Oh my gosh, that was so much fun.
Yeah, it's I mean, going outside and painting outside, I think is like really therapeutic too. I like to take watercolors on hikes with me, just to be like, oh no.
That's a good idea.
Let's just play with color right here, you know? Because you can, I don't know, it's like, it's therapeutic, it's fun to do, and I don't know.
Yeah, I really, that was like the first experience I actually had, like, painting out in the wilderness. And
oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've done
That's
like
awesome,
a little
though.
plein air workshop, like at some little ranch farm thing.
How would you ever think, though, I mean, like, how would you ever would be like, I'm gonna do that right now?
The Joshua Tree Arts
Yeah,
Residency?
I mean, just like, you know, to just come across it, like, without school or something, just to be like, oh, yes, I'm just gonna go out there and just draw something. Like,
yeah.
You know, like kids, we draw in the sand and we, like, write our names and
play with chalk.
play with chalk and, like, like, you play with stuff, like, all the time when you're a kid. Some kids, I guess.
Yeah. No, I was definitely an outdoorsy kid, always making shit. Like, I don't know, ever since I was a kid, I just like to make stuff. Yeah. It was like a fort out of pillows and blankets. Like, it was just fun to make things. And I would, like, get graph paper out and make little mazes or something. I was just a weird kid.
Building, I did stuff all the time too. Like, we would make, like, places, we would do, like, plays and, like, build, like,
totally.
like sets and stuff. Where,
I
like,
used to do that too.
You know?
Yeah, with
like,
all the little neighborhood kids. My grandma's lived here for 40 years. So
really?
I grew up here.
Oh,
so
wow,
this
that's
is
awesome.
like my stomping grounds, I guess.
Totally. Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, so that little park over there, that pool, that's
like
my childhood
back of
right
my
there.
head.
Totally,
I
no,
know,
totally.
It's really beautiful.
I know
here.
every little nook and cranny and like
all
every
the
bush
hills.
and tree.
That's cool. Yeah, there's some amazing trees here.
Yeah.
Like, really big,
huge
glorious.
eucalyptus all over here.
And there's some really pretty sycamore trees.
Mm.
Like.
Yeah, there's a sycamore park. There's a really nice trail.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's really beautiful.
Like a 2.5 mile loop.
Mm-hmm.
It's really nice. It's a hard hike too. It's lots of ups and downs.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a workout. I mean, Zena over there. I don't know where she went, but we used to hike that trail a lot. We used to go every day after work.
Oh, that's cool.
Until it got too hot, and then we ran across this rattlesnake.
Oh yeah, that's scary.
And I usually have my dog off the leash, and luckily I saw the snake crossing the trail.
Oh yeah.
Like, and I'm like, Zena, get over here.
Yeah.
And I had to just grab her real quick.
That's true. There are rattlesnakes.
They're everywhere, and I see them dead on the side of trails because someone smashed it with a rock or something.
Like, you don't have to do that.
No, yeah, just let it pass, and you'll be fine. And they cut off the tail and shit, like, cut the tail.
What? Congratulations.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. They are little.
Trophy.
They can be little bastard snakes.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I ended up taking her to the vet and gave her a vaccine for rattlesnakes.
That's good.
So, like, if she gets bit, she won't necessarily die, but yeah. She'll still get sick and we'll have to take her to the hospital, but it'll give her more time, supposedly. But
yeah, it's so intense. You're like, okay, nice thing about Joshua Tree, there were rattlesnakes.
Yeah.
And
that's what we were told anyways.
I don't think so.
Yeah, the guy, well, I mean, Brian Rennie, who hooked us up with that campsite, was telling us there are rattlesnakes, but they're far and few between, and they aren't around, and, like, he's lived there for a long time, and he hasn't seen one, really.
Yeah, I don't think it's hot. No, it's hot. That was ridiculous. I don't know why they aren't there, but I don't see them there.
There's lots of little mice for them to eat, that's for sure. They were eating her food.
Little kangaroo mice. Yeah, that's the thing. There's no real, like, mean animals there.
Yeah.
It's a very like gentle place.
There's like foxes and coyotes. That's about.
Yeah. They just kind of roam around.
There's some really cool coyote calls like late at night.
I was just gonna say like
They're like yapping away.
yeah, they were totally yapping it up that morning.
Yeah.
They're funny.
Sound like they just caught a rabbit or something. They're just like all celebrating.
Yeah, you hear them in the distance, like, you know.
And he started yapping along with them.
Yeah, it happened one night. It did. We were there and we were telling stories and laughing and stuff, and like this coyote just went off. Like someone.
Yeah.
I was telling a story and I was like, "Whoa!" And this coyote was like, "Whee!" And then they all like how it started howling.
Yeah.
This is hilarious. He fell out of his chair.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think studios are the best.
Yeah. Little treasures everywhere.
Mhm.
Oh, this is a little treasure I could show you. This is leftover paint. It's the inside of the water bucket that I used at work. So you
Those
can
are
see
so cool.
it was like this. And then those are just all the drips in the bucket.
Oh wow! It looks like watercolors.
Yeah, in a
So
sense
beautiful.
it is. So you can kind of see how
Yeah, it's
like the different water levels, and then you can see the drips, and then where the water level is, and it just kind of gets
It looks
washed
like
away.
like a crazy rainbow sky and you're sitting on a beach, looking at like insane like this looks like
off
water.
into the distance.
Yeah, and then it's like rainbows.
We got the horizon in a way.
That's beautiful. It's such a cool buildup of colors.
Yeah, these are really fun. I just need to find a way to use them. I haven't quite figured that out. But they've been up here for a while.
Just display them on their own. They're like complex enough. We've been seeing a lot of digital art that's just like a glitch or something, and it's just like layers of like light, and it's just like this image that just got like spliced out into color. And I mean, it's just like a glitch on your computer screen. Like everyone has them every now and then, you know, where the picture just goes like ah.
Yeah.
But some people have like captured that moment, and
That's
they're like,
cool.
whoa, look at this light fraction.
I wish I could work with technology. When there's a computer in front of me, it's just so foreign and abstract to me. I need actual material stuff that I can manipulate with my hands.
What do you feel about e-waste? Like
E-waste?
all of the cell phones and all of like tech trash
Yeah,
and
it's
stuff.
pretty crazy. That reminds me, I just signed up for a program for an iPhone. And you get a new iPhone every time there's a new one.
Where do all those iPhones go? Like,
yeah.
There was this documentary I saw a long time ago called Manufactured Landscapes, and they just show piles of like raw materials, and that these piles of raw materials create their own like landscape. And it's like very vast, and like it has crazy ecological effects, like all that stuff leaching into the groundwater.
All the batteries.
And just like here's a pile of old tin.
Yeah, it's never gonna go away.
It's crazy, yeah. They're like these really toxic, very toxic landscapes.
There's this artist. His last name is Muniz, I believe, and he did this documentary called Wasteland. Vic Muniz, I believe his name is. Anyways, and he would go to. He's like from Brazil, and he would go hang out with the pickers of Brazil because they don't have a recycling hub or whatever. There's no company there to recycle. So
they just have landfills.
Yeah, exactly.
They're recycling.
Yeah, they
like
have
backwards.
people go through the piles of trash and watch these trucks dump out, and they're like picking through it.
Whoa, let's like make your lives a little bit easier here.
Yeah, so I mean they take the bottles and all the plastics and they go and recycle it and make money for themselves.
Right.
And so he went to these dumps, and basically he would collect like the waste there in the landfills, and he would arrange it.
I saw him
on the floor in a big warehouse.
And he would work with them.
He was a photographer, and so he
saw
would.
That.
Yeah,
that was sick.
He would work with. He did different portraits of the pickers
Yeah, they were beautiful. And they were huge. They were like giant, like the size of a basketball court.
Like a warehouse.
Yeah.
And you'd have like a scaffolding where you could like go up and take
that
a photo.
was amazing.
And it'd be like up
really
above, like directing where to put things. And
there's there's artists that that's the process. The process of that experience is the art. And I think that's a really beautiful way to look at art making too, and just diving into certain experiences just to kind of like show it in that light. Like, think about it.
Yeah, it goes so much further back than just the actual photo that you're looking at. There's like so much more that happened prior to seeing this photo to make this photo.
Yeah,
it's just like...
It's the story of the photo.
Exactly. And to make that documentary like you did really helped him in that way, it's just like he was able to show the whole process of how this came about.
I think that's why, I think it's important for artists to show that side of what we make, because a lot of people don't think about the studio space or the process or the atmosphere, like the music you listen to, like the materials you're working with and the whole experience of it. And like
they just see a pretty picture.
Yeah, they just
and that's kind of like the extent of what they understand.
Yeah, and so art isn't limited to just a pretty picture. It's a story. There's like information behind all of these images that can only come from the artist and can only be shared as a journey.
Yeah.
Because without seeing everything, I don't know.
You don't have that appreciation that the art of the art,
Like
you kind of get a better sense of what it is.
It's deeper.
Yeah, totally. Lots of layers. It's like an onion. Less smelly though.
Art. It's like an onion, but less smelly.